I've been obsessed with Annie So's sailor slippers. I already made one pair, which I'm currently wearing, and I basically want to make these as a gift for my sisters, my mom, my boyfriend, and so. And I thought I'm gonna do a video on how many I can knit in a week. And I think I'm gonna start with my sister's pair because I do like the colorway that she chose, and I would like those for myself, but my ones are gonna be these. I initially started these for my boyfriend. He wears size 42, I'm 40, and it turned out too small, so I know it's a problem with my washing machine because it's quite old, but I kind of know what I have to do to get the right sizes. And my first pair is gonna be this cream combined this blue, and I'm gonna be alternating the stripes. The I-cord around the opening is gonna be this pink, and lastly the sole is gonna be this dark gray. So I think I'm gonna straight away cast on. What I like about this pattern is that for the main work you have one ball of each color for each slipper, basically same with the color for the sole. And what that means is that you can work them both at the same time. So when you do cast on one slipper, you can just go ahead, do the same one more time with your new ball and work them at the same time. And this is how it will look like. So you will simply work one slipper with one ball of yarn and then the other with the other. So basically just don't use the same yarn for both of them so that you don't accidentally connect them, and at the same time you're gonna work them both, which I really like because I usually hate things that, you know, goes in pairs like mittens or socks, and this way you can just do them both and you don't have to look at the pattern, you know, doing one slipper and then coming back to it for another one. So, and another good thing is that you're gonna end up with the same slipper, so you're not gonna make more or less rows for one of them because you are making them at the same time. So yeah, maybe some of you didn't know this, and you can give it a go whether you are making these slippers or something else. But yeah, the cast on is done. I'm just gonna continue. Now, another thing I wanted to show you is for those who hate weaving in the tails, and that's probably everyone, but yeah, you can do that as you go, and you just simply grab your tail, wrap it around your working yarn, and then you go to knit your stitch, knit your first one, go in for the second one, and again, wrap your tail around like this. Then you're gonna knit, and then you're just gonna repeat the same thing. So before you finish your knit, always wrap your tail around and finish your stitch. And you can do this for as long as you run out of your tail or until you think it's long enough. So yeah. And just to show you how it looks, basically I have hidden all of these tails in the same way. So some of them are shorter, some of them are longer, but this is how it looks from the wrong side. And from the right side, you can't even tell. So yeah, for projects like these, I do like to use this method because you do change color quite a bit. So you end up with loads of tails, and I think it's a great way to get them hidden. Another thing that I'm probably gonna do, not with this pair because it's too late now because I already got some rows done, probably with my next slippers, just to see how long it takes, because I had some people ask me how long it took. What I told them is one evening, but sometimes I can be delusional, and it would be interesting to see how long it actually takes. So I'm probably gonna time myself with my next one. But these are worked with 8mm needles, so it works pretty quickly anyway. And I'm pretty much done with the heel, so I'm gonna move on to the main part, and ideally I'll try to get these done today. finished my first pair. I forgot how funny they look before felting. They are absolutely massive. It almost goes to my elbow. This is how big it is. Finished them yesterday. I seamed one and I went to bed. So this morning I finished seaming the other one, which is my least favorite part, but it needs to be done and it is so worth it. And then I did the I-cord edge as well. So that's one pair done. I'm gonna straight away move to my next one because I'm not gonna felt one by one. That wouldn't make sense. I'm just gonna save energy and felt them all together because it does take about 90 minutes. Now this next pair is gonna be size 45, which should turn out down to size 43 or 42. I hope so. So I'm not gonna time this one because it's pretty big, and I'm gonna try to do that with the middle-sized one probably because this one is gonna be even bigger. And this time I'm doing two different greens. So just gonna be striped in those two greens and then a gray sole. So that's it for this one. It's pretty easy and it also comes with this colorway and the pattern. So I didn't come up with it myself. Same with this one, to be honest. It did come in the pattern because the pattern suggests use some colorways. My sister liked that one, so that's why I made it. And I'm probably not gonna record as much because I'm not too sure how many pairs I'll do, but it's probably gonna be a lot of footage. So I'm just gonna go and work on this pair for now. But yeah, I'll update you either way. And I have finished the pair I started yesterday, which was these two greens, which is by far the biggest one. This is how they turned out. I'm really excited for these to be washed and felted because I think it's gonna look really nice with these two shades of green. And this morning I started another pair, which is my third now. I'm using this cream and green, and then I'm probably gonna do pink I-cord around, same as I did with the first one. So yeah, I am timing this one. This is size 38 and these two took me 3 hours and 6 minutes. So basically it's about an hour and a half per one slipper. It's only the top part, so basically I'm gonna be moving on to the sole now, which I'm also gonna time, but I do weave in my tails as I go, so that slows me down. But then if I would have to do the tails at the end, it probably would balance out time wise. So yeah, this is how long it took. The sole itself is probably going to take less because it's one solid color, so no color changing, no weaving in the tails. So yeah, I'm gonna do that now and I'll update you on how long it takes. Later on I decided to take a break and I went into this gorgeous park, had a walk, grabbed some matcha, and I came back home to work on the slippers and just finished doing both soles. It is a bit wider than what you can see because it is curling, but this took me about an hour and 50 minutes, which is just under an hour for one of them. Now I just have to seam it all up, which I'm again going to time, and I finished seaming my slippers. To seam one of them took about 20 minutes, feels longer than what it actually is. And I also did I-cord, which also took about 20 or 21 minutes. It might be quicker if you have double pointed needles. I don't have those and I do work this in, needles with a cable, so it takes a bit longer, but I don't see a point in getting double pointed needles. So yeah, I just do it with the cabled ones. So everything added together takes about 5.5 hours to do both of them. And that's of course not including the felting process, which usually for me takes about 90 minutes, and then it takes a full whole week to dry because I don't have my heating on, so it does take a little bit longer. And now I'm gonna cast on another pair, which is gonna be for my sister. She's only 10 years old, so it's gonna be the smallest pair out of all. I'm gonna do size 35, I think, and hopefully I can get the top part, so the stripy part, today and I only have to do the sole tomorrow. I'm going to work those in this green and purple because she hates pink for some reason, so I'm trying to stay away from the pink, and I'm gonna do in these two, so hopefully that looks nice as well. And it should also work a bit quicker than whatever I did before because it's way smaller than size 40 or size 45. And I come back with another pair. This one was honestly so quick because it's so tiny. And like I said before, I wanted to do the stripy part yesterday, which I managed to do, and honestly worked pretty quickly. Then I did the sole and everything else this morning, so that's my another pair done. Hopefully it's gonna fit my little sister, and I hope it's gonna turn out nice. And now I'm gonna cast on my probably last pair because this is gonna be made out of scraps, and even though I think I could make two potentially, the second one wouldn't look really nice, so I would rather do one that's gonna look nice and then use the scraps for something else. Now this is what I have from all the slippers that I did. I think I'm gonna do this color for the sole because I don't have enough of gray, plus I don't want to mix these. I don't think that's gonna look nice. I want one solid color and it's gonna be this. I think it's gonna look nice because it's like muted blue. So this is gonna be for the sole, and now I need to decide what I'm gonna do for the main work. What I really like is these. I think these could go together, and I don't like this one. I don't think it fits in. Maybe with the pink one, but not with the rest. So I'm gonna put this aside, and this is what I'm left with. I don't know if it's too many grays. I do like this dark bit pink, so maybe I'll keep this one and maybe this one and then take this off. What about this teal? I know it looks really nice with this pink, but it's probably not the best idea if I want the lilac and this green, so maybe this one goes out. What if I take the brown out? I kind of like this, whatever this is, but I'm gonna try and sketch it up on my iPad and see if it goes well. And I'm gonna try to color those slippers in. I've got all of my colors. This looks like a black, but this is actually that dark green that I have here. So I'm just gonna fill in my sole, and then I'm gonna start trying to combine all of the colors. And this is what I came up with. I left the I-cord edging empty for now because I'm not too sure how much of each color I'll have. Because for example, this gray is probably not gonna last that much. I'm gonna decide this at the end, and I really hope it's gonna look better than it looks here because it looks a bit of a mess. But yeah, this is what I gotta do with the yarns I have to make up the slippers. So excited to cast on this last pair because I know that once I finish them all, I'm gonna be able to wash them out and see the felted finished slippers. So I'm really excited about that. I'm probably not gonna be able to finish this pair today because it's gonna involve way more color changes than the other ones, and I probably won't be able to do the hide the tails in while you go method because it's gonna be way too many tails, and I'll have to do this the traditional way at the end using a needle. So yeah, I'll try to do most of it today and finish probably tomorrow morning, and that's cast on for one of them done. I also considered doing them separately because for some colors, for example this pink, I don't have two bowls, or for this one, which is not even a skein, I probably wouldn't be able to do one row with this, but yeah, I think I'm gonna try and do them both together. And I have my last pair, which is made out of scraps done. So just like I assumed, I wasn't able to do them in one day. So yesterday what I did was this top part, and I think I've got 6 or 8 rows of the sole done, and then I did everything else today. I kind of like the scrappy moment here. I love that it's split in half, but the negative thing about this is that you also need to seam this part together. But yeah, I probably wouldn't make another pair like this because it was so time consuming. And to answer my own question of how many slippers I can make in 1 week, it is 5. I could probably squeeze in another 2, but that's not the point. I wanted to make these as gifts for my family basically, and it was kind of fun to see if I can make them in 1 week. I did really enjoy making all of these apart from the scrap ones. These striped ones are very satisfying to work, and it's pretty quick because it's chunky yarn, 8mm needles, and not too complicated pattern. But yeah, it's now gonna go into the wash, and in about an hour and a half I'm gonna see what the outcome is, so I'm really excited about that. This is now the next day. I washed my slippers yesterday and I left them to dry a bit. They are still wet. So the first pair, which was teal green and this pink, this is how it turned out. I really like this colorway. I think it looks really nice with the pink I-cord. Next up, I have these 2 shades of green. Love these ones, probably because I just love green. Then I have these lilac and green ones, which are for my little sister. She usually wears a size 35, I believe, and it turned out to be perfect. Now ignore all of the shapes because they are still pretty wet, and I have them filled with socks just to keep the shape, so I took it all out to show you, but yeah. And remember, I made these in size 35, while these ones were size 38. And to be fair, these ones turned out to be the same as these lilac ones. Maybe they are a tiny bit bigger, but they are pretty much the same, to be honest. So I'm not too sure what happened with this green pair, because it turned out way smaller than the rest. I don't think the color bled, but it kind of felted into this off-white. So you should be able to see these little fibers in this off-white. I still like them, I'm not gonna lie, but not sure what happened with this pair, because you don't see the same thing with this one. It is not as bad as the other one, so I'm not too sure whether it was the yarn. I do believe it's because of the yarn. Maybe it's too contrasting, that's why it's that visible. And regarding the size, to be fair, I think it's because I washed them all, but then at the same time everything else turned out to be the size I needed. So yeah, these are gonna be for my sister as well, and I'm probably gonna make my grandma another pair on its own. But yeah, I love these. I love the pink, and I'm not too sure if my sister is gonna like it because she hates pink. But yeah, these 2 are gonna now be for my little sister. And the last pair is this scrap yarn one, which turned out to be okay. I like the blue sole. I do think I liked these before felting more, but it's not that bad. I like the I-cord that it's out of different colors. This one has 3, while this one has just 2. I really like that. But yeah, I think it turned out okay for what it is. Plus it's made out of scrap, so yeah, I obviously tried to do my best combining all these colorways, and I hope my mom likes these. But yeah, this is all I did in 1 week. I'm gonna put them back to dry. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in my next one.